Hello and welcome to the John Ark Show. Today's episode is called Where Could Alec Baldwin Hide His Money? Before we begin, I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we upload a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's episode on your social media so that we can get the word out about this channel. Now, let's get started. Everybody knows about Alec Baldwin's recent legal problems. So we decided to ask some hypothetical legal and financial questions. If Alec thought that things might go badly for him with all his legal challenges and he wanted to hide his money, how would he do it? Now, mind you, we're not saying that he will do this. We're just asking hypothetical questions. How would he do it if he were inclined to do this? Well, when O.J. Simpson had his legal problems and he needed to shield his wealth, you know what he did? He moved to Florida. He did that because it's much more difficult for someone to take or seize your home or your wealth in Florida. They have a great law protecting their homes. Article 10, Section 4 of the Florida Constitution exempts homestead property from levy and execution by most judgment creditors. That means that a creditor cannot place a lien or force the sale of your home to satisfy an obligation or a money judgment. The Florida homestead law makes purchasing a primary residence exceptionally attractive as it protects Florida residents from creditors pursuing their assets. This means that you could have a recorded judgment against you. That judgment cannot attach to or become a lien on your home. Simply put, a creditor cannot take your home if you owe them money. Most people don't realize how important that is in this day and age. This homestead protection against a judgment is one of the strongest asset protection tools known in the United States. Most importantly, it's part of Florida's Constitution, and it protects a debtor's value in his or her primary residence, which frequently leads to judgment debtors relocating to Florida in order to protect their money from collection by creditors. That's probably the reason OJ moved to Florida. By shielding his money and placing it into the purchase of a Florida home, he was effectively shielding it from creditors at the time. Another technique is to protect your assets by pulling the equity out of them and putting that cash into assets that your state protects. For example, let's say that you own an apartment building and are concerned about potential lawsuits. If you took out a loan against that building's equity, you could place the funds in a protected asset such as an annuity. Here are some other strategies that Alec might consider. He might consider transferring assets into his spouse's name. However, if he ever got into a divorce, he could potentially be in a lot of trouble if things went badly for him or if his wife changed her mind and decided she wanted to do things her way with that money. Some people will place more assets into their mother's or father's name. Another thing he might do is to create a company and then put money into that employer-sponsored retirement plan because it might also have unlimited protections. Another option for Alec might be to purchase an umbrella insurance policy that protects him from personal injury claims above the standard coverage offered by his home and auto policies. You know, there are a lot of options for them. I suspect that within days of the incident occurring, he probably met with his accountant and his lawyer and his financial manager and began discussing a strategy to shield his wealth. Now, the problem is that many of these strategies work much better if you implement them before the problem occurs. Implementing them after the problem occurs may dramatically reduce your options and some levels of the protection that they afford you. Now, let's discuss the option of last resort. Theoretically, let's say that everything went really badly for Alec and that the prosecutors and creditors started coming after him with guns blazing. Let's say they began to file criminal charges. Let's say the plaintiffs started filing civil lawsuits against him. Let's say he started to have tremendous legal expenses, which were crippling him. If the situation were bad enough, the legal expenses from multiple lawsuits could do severe economic damage to him. What's the absolute worst case scenario? Well, when movie director Roman Polanski, when his legal problems began to challenge him, began to stack up and became very threatening, then he simply fled the country. To this day, he refuses to return to America because of the alleged problems that would occur if he came back. Polanski has been living in Europe for decades for that very reason. Do we think that Alec Baldwin would flee to a non-extradition country if things got bad for him? Well, who knows? But there is something we do know. It would be really foolish for him not to protect his wealth. He should never assume that they will not pursue him criminally or civilly just because he believes he is innocent. Remember, being innocent has nothing to do with whether someone files a lawsuit against you. It also has little to do with whether someone will file criminal charges against you. As a celebrity, other people are always looking to profit off your situation and, of course, make their own reputations off your problems. Alec has another major problem. No one is really talking about this, but it's a huge problem on the criminal side and the civil side. The problem for Alec is that he is not likable. For decades now, he has been having legal problems by getting into fistfights with people on the streets, whether it was simply a dispute over someone taking photos or a dispute over a parking spot. These events keep happening over and over for Alec. He definitely seems like he's very angry and he has some anger management issues. And, when a jury sees that, when it detects that sort of thing, it might rub the prosecutor or a judge or a jury in a really bad way. We've seen a lot of court cases go really badly because someone was very unlikable. If that's the case, then lawyers often try to prevent their clients from testifying. But here's another problem. Alec seems like a very stubborn guy who may or may not listen to his lawyer. I've seen him out on the streets in California, and I watched his encounters with people, and he is definitely not likable. If that's the case, then even if he has a good set of facts to help him present his case, the jury or the judge may simply dislike him so much that they may have a powerful bias against him. Now, if he did flee to a non-extradition country like Brazil or Switzerland, then that might impose an entire new set of issues for him. Even though some of these countries don't extradite, they come with their own sets of challenges. With Brazil, for example, you have tremendous issues with street crime and security. They routinely break into the homes of celebrities in Brazil. With Switzerland, you have enormous costs and potential tax issues. If he stays in the US, then you never know what might happen. The list of people who could file a civil suit against him seems to be growing longer all the time. Now, having said that, please keep in mind that this is just a hypothetical speculation. No one knows what Alec will do until he actually does it. He's not actually guilty of anything until a court or a judge or jury says so. Needless to say, we wish all the victims of this tragedy, as well as Alec and his family, all the best going forward. Thank you for watching. I want to encourage you to subscribe to our channel for free. You can also like, comment, and follow us. We're going to have a lot of great celebrity interviews coming up, so make sure to click on that notification bell so you can be notified every time we post a new episode. Also, we ask that you post a link to today's episode on your social media so that you can help us spread the word about the show. Thank you, and we shall see you soon. Bye-bye.